Jung, why are you speaking like this? Are you okay? Those were the trembling words from Jungkook, BTS's youngest, reportedly overheard on a private call late last Thursday, a call that would send a ripple of panic through the fandom, the military, and even the quiet hills of Gangwon province, where Private Park Jimin currently serves. What could have caused a man as strong-willed and emotionally composed as Jimin to reach a breaking point? What was it in his voice that made not just Jungkook, but also Taehyung, known for his calm resilience, rush into action behind the scenes? Why was HYB silent for over 48 hours while rumors exploded online? Something happened inside Camp 17. Something so unexpected, it pierced the protective shield of idol life and exposed something raw, vulnerable, real, and Jimin, against the expectations of silence and stoicism, decided to speak. "I thought I could endure anything. I didn't expect this." That's the quote that stunned a select group of insiders and military staff. And now, for the first time, the full story behind it is being pieced together. This is not just another celebrity military update. This is the unraveling of a brotherhood under pressure, the strain of physical and emotional exhaustion, and the point where duty meets pain, all told through the voice of one of the world's most beloved idols, and echoed in the panic of two others. But before we get to the phone call that shook Jungkook and Taehyung, we need to look back. Not to BTS's global fame or their sold-out stadiums, but to what happened 3 weeks into Jimin's deployment at Camp 17, a place known for its harsh terrain, grueling drills, and brutal winter wind. The letter that was never meant to be seen. Sources inside Camp 17 revealed that Jimin had been writing daily letters, not to fans but to himself. More of a journal, some said, while others described them as emotional check-ins. It was in one of these entries, left mistakenly inside a shared barracks storage compartment, that a junior officer allegedly found the line that started the concern. "My body is here, but my soul is somewhere I can't reach. And I don't know if I'll ever feel whole again." Was it poetic? A cry for help? The interpretation depends on the reader, but one thing is certain. That note made its way up the chain. And not long after, Park Jimin was quietly transferred from physical drills to medical observation for what officials described as temporary fatigue-related evaluation. HYB didn't comment. The Ministry of National Defense didn't elaborate. And Army waited. Until the dam broke. The phone call. "Jungkook, I just wanted to hear your voice before lights out." They say Jimin called just to hear his Dongsing's voice. But the tone of that call, which Jungkook later described to a staff member as the most fragile I've ever heard him, betrayed more than exhaustion. Jungkook had just finished a dance session in HYB's basement studio when the call came. He was sweaty, smiling, even recording himself for Weverse. The moment his phone lit up with "Jung," he paused, confused. They weren't supposed to call this late. Then came the words, "Kook, it's so quiet here tonight. Too quiet. It's like the world forgot me." At first, Jungkook laughed it off. "Jung, you always get poetic when you're sleepy." But then Jimin didn't laugh. In fact, he didn't respond at all for a full 10 seconds. When he did speak, Jungkook said it was like hearing someone from underwater. "My body hurts in places I didn't know existed. I know I trained for this. But today something felt different. I thought I saw my mom, just standing there in the snow. She wasn't, of course. But for a moment I really believed she was." That's when Taehyung, who was sitting across the room eating tteokbokki, looked up. Jungkook's expression had changed. His hand was shaking slightly. Taehyung mouthed, "Is that Jimin?" And Jungkook nodded. Then Jimin said it, the words that made both of them panic. "If something happens, I want you to remember me when I smiled." What could he have meant? Was he merely exhausted from a tough drill? Was it hunger, sleeplessness, emotional weight? Or something deeper, something psychological, a sign of burnout or depression? Taehyung didn't wait to speculate. "We're going to him. Now." Emergency request. Taehyung files a private visit petition. It is almost unheard of for non-family members to gain access to a serving soldiers' camp for emotional support, especially other celebrities. But within 6 hours, Taehyung had filed a private petition through the Ministry of Defense citing critical emotional welfare concern regarding fellow soldier and bandmate Park Jimin. What followed was a whirlwind of private calls, late-night meetings, and back-channel discussions. Taehyung was determined. Jungkook was pacing the halls, barely sleeping. HYBE's internal counseling team was brought in to prepare psychological support protocols. And Jimin? He was unaware of any of it, because the very next morning he collapsed. The collapse, training ground incident confirmed by insiders. On Friday morning at approximately 8:10, during a cold weather endurance drill, Private Jimin reportedly stumbled mid-jog and collapsed near the edge of the training field. Witnesses say he remained conscious but was visibly disoriented, shivering, and mumbling things under his breath. One junior trainee stated anonymously, "He was whispering a song. Think it was Promise. But he was mixing it with words I didn't recognize." Medical staff rushed to his side. He was stabilized, wrapped in thermal blankets, and taken for observation. Later that afternoon, the message arrived. "I'm okay. Please don't come. Just keep singing until I'm back." That was the text Jungkook received. And it didn't calm him. It broke him. The military's response, fan theories, and the emotional climax. Absolutely. Here is part 2 of the long-form article. We'll dive deeper into the unfolding crisis, Jungkook and Taehyung's emotional state, the silence of the authorities, and the subtle signs Jimin left behind before his collapse. Keep singing until I'm back. The meltdown behind the message, and the unseen struggles of Jimin at Camp 17 when Jungkook received that text. Just keep singing until I'm back. His hands reportedly shook so badly he dropped his phone. The message, so simple in its wording, held too much weight. It wasn't a request. It was a plea. It wasn't reassurance. It was an echo of someone trying to hold on. To the average person, it might have sounded poetic, even comforting. But to Jungkook, who had known Jimin through nights of tears backstage, through whispered breakdowns during their trainee years, and through the pressure cooker of global fame, it was an all-too-familiar sign of withdrawal. And to Taehyung, who'd once held Jimin when he collapsed from exhaustion in Osaka, it was a red flag he couldn't ignore. That HYB had gone silent. The military refused to comment. And yet the chaos behind the scenes was only just beginning. The last voice note. "I'm not trying to scare anyone, but I need to say this. It wasn't just the text." An insider, someone allegedly close to Jungkook, leaked that Jimin had left a short 14-second voice message on a shared KakaoTalk chat with Taehyung and Jungkook. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't even sad. That perhaps is what made it more chilling than a tone of haunting calmness. Jimin reportedly said, "If I'm quiet for a while, don't think I've forgotten you. I'm still here, just a little deeper in the snow than usual. I'll climb out. Just don't forget my voice." This voice note, now circulating among a small number of fan pages under strict moderation, has sparked an avalanche of concern, speculation, and reflection. What did Jimin mean by deeper in the snow? Was it symbolic of depression, emotional numbness, physical exhaustion? All three. One comment from a military official provided a clue, although couched in cold bureaucracy. Private Park is experiencing acute stress response syndrome, common among high-profile individuals adjusting to military rigor. Medical teams are addressing it. The phrase acute stress response, a clinical term, couldn't fully capture the storm brewing inside the fanbase, nor the intensity of Jungkook's own reaction. Jungkook vanishes from the studio for 36 hours. Known for his workaholic habits, Jungkook's absence from HYB studios for over 36 hours immediately triggered questions. No live streams.
No gym updates.
No staff sightings. Nothing. Some believed he flew to Gangwon. Others suggested he was undergoing his own emotional counseling. One thing is confirmed. During that period, Taehyung filed his second formal request to visit Jimin. This time it wasn't alone. Operation Silent Dawn. How Taekook tried to break military protocol. What fans are now calling Operation Silent Dawn was an unprecedented effort by two of BTS's most emotionally grounded members to reach their brother. Multiple reports suggest Taehyung and Jungkook jointly composed a personal letter to the Camp 17 commanding officer. In it, they didn't mention fame. They didn't pull rank. They didn't even refer to themselves as BTS members. They wrote simply, "This is not about an idol. This is about a person we love. Please allow us to be there. Not to disrupt. Just to be near." That letter was reportedly hand-delivered through a HYB liaison, along with a psychological wellness report written by Dr. Hwan Soo-jin, a consultant who worked with BTS during their Love Yourself era. The letter was received. No response came.